Welcome, everybody, to Star League Thursdays, live at the Next Arena. My name is Valdez. Joining with me today is Moonglade, and we have a sick group filled with tons of Zergs.
Oh.
I know you're happy, Moonglade.
It doesn't get better than this, Valdez. 3 of the best Zergs in the world, Biol, Life, and soO, and one poor Protoss named Trap will be going at it. Top 2 get out of here. I didn't even know who's going to get out of this one, because it's just such a stacked lineup today.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to call. I was telling you before the matches even started, I think any 2 players could actually get out, especially with how many ZVZs we're going to have. Also, there's one Protoss who I would say is probably the weakest guy in the group, which is really funny because it's Trap, who's really good.
He's really good.
But he still might not make it through, but maybe he does because he's Protoss.
Because he's Protoss. The matchup is weird right now. ZVZ is so volatile, so anyone can really lose. Like, as we saw in the Casper Cup recently, like Life getting 3-0'd by Dark in some pretty ruthless, all-in sort of cheesy games. It can happen to the best of them.
And I'm sure those guys were watching those games. You know, they're going to bring it into today if they were practicing for today, which I'm sure they were. So we're probably going to see more of the same. I would not be surprised to see more just super aggressive ZVZ, very standard, or what it's become in PvP. You know, just make stalkers, make sentries, research Blink, kill the Zerg, and move on with your life.
Well, luckily for the Zergs, they don't have to play on the maps that the Casper Cup was on because a lot of them were pretty favored for Protoss.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
A lot of good maps for force fielding and just dealing with 4th and 3rd bases. Starting off today will be Life versus soO, though. And I think we're actually going to see it slow down a bit. We're not going to see the same kind of games we saw from Dark and Life. Because soO, he's also the kind of player that gets cheesed out by other Zergs. Because he's always that greedy opener. And, so both these guys are probably going to go at it much more greedier and maybe a slower pace, even just the openings. But after that, it will get pretty explosive.
Yeah, I would expect so. But, you know, maybe these players, they know each other, and they're going to be like, oh, Life likes to play greedy. Why don't I just do what Dark did? And Life's going to be like, oh, soO likes to play greedy. Let me just do what Dark did to me.
Well, we could also see that.
Could happen.
2-10 pulls, both games. It can happen. Anything
Especially depending on the map. You know, first map here is going to be Expedition Lost.
Yeah.
We already have that, so we have the spoiler here on our screen.
Yeah, we always get the spoiler. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, it's a lot of my games coming into this with a lot of recent results from both sides. A lot of things to play off and kind of scout. So it should be a very interesting day.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one. Just when I checked the lineups, I was like, whoa! These players all in the same group.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even remember, you know, from the group selection, but I don't even know how all these great players got in the same group.
Absolutely. I saw it coming up, and I'm like, I better cast this day no matter what. Like, I'll do it for... No, I won't do it for free, but I'll do it no matter what. And
well, we got you here, Moonglade. You're here. Thankfully, with all the Zergs we got in this group.
That's right. Maybe one of these Zergs will be holding this ring by the end of the season. Never know. Whoa! That shouldn't be on TV. Hot damn.
Is that appropriate? I don't know.
Who is that?
Does it matter? That's the question. No. I actually don't know who that is.
It does not, Valdez.
It's on a spade, you know, like the cards.
Yeah.
Is that the Ace of Spades, Moonglade?
I don't think so, Valdez. It's some hot chick with a machine gun.
And we're actually getting no information about what that's from.
It'd be a cool tattoo, I'd have to say. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah. Get that on your back.
Yeah.
Although you may regret it when you're like 50 years old. You're like, oh,
you might even regret it the moment you get it.
Yeah.
You know, these things kind of come and go. Well, here's a look at the groups. We're going to be having Life, soO, Biol, Trap today, Group C. And I think we still got Group B to go. Yeah.
We went in kind of a weird order here. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess some players are going to foreign tournaments and this stuff like that. But we went A to D, which, by the way, Marwin Zesk got out of A. Stats and Hero from D. Already 4 sick players getting out there. 3 Protoss, 1 Terran. And then from today, you know, anything really goes. Like we said, I feel like it really could be any 2 players. I would expect, if I had to predict, maybe Life and Biol.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Both guys doing so well in the Casper Cup. But soO and Trap are equally as dangerous. At the very least, one Zerg gets to go out of this group, you know, and get to the round of 8. Otherwise, you know, we're at the risk of having no Zergs in the round of 8.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That would be depressing, Valdez. I don't know what
that would be so depressing. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And looking at Group B, we had Dream Hyun, Sulky, and Classic.
That's right.
Another like pretty mixed group there.
Yeah,
some interesting names.
Pretty interesting group. Some of the lesser Zergs, dare I say, like Sulky's still fantastic, but he just hasn't had the results. And Hyun, we never really get to see that guy.
Yeah, he made it through on ZVZ against Losira, which
That's
he was
right.
very, very well studied for. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to go head-to-head in a 4-player group like that. I just don't know. I wouldn't expect it, to be honest, compared to some of the other players we got in that group. But
with Dream and Classic there, I don't see it happening.
It's going to be kind of hard for him. But anyway, going into today's group, Group C, Life versus soO to start things off, as you said. Then we're going to jump into Biel versus Trap, a ZVP.
Should be a lot of fun, Valdez. Life versus soO. Should be starting any time now. Yeah, and it was going to be on Expedition Lost to start things off. Very fun sort of matchup. We obviously saw Life go down to Dark 3-0. soO, when was the last time we actually saw soO? Let me have a quick look here.
Take a sneak peek.
Kodas, he played in recently, just the other week. Lost to Trust in Fantasy, actually.
Ah, right. That was that
out.
famous Game 1 against Fantasy. The mech game where Fantasy won with 3 energy left on his Banshee to kill the last Spine Crawler on the map.
He had a horrible day then, and he got
tilted so hard. Me and you casted that one.
Yeah, I remember that. But here we go. Here's Life. He made it to the semi-finals of the Kessler Cup on the weekend, getting 3-0'd by Dark, getting Temple twice, and failing his sort of
so sad.
Game 2 cheese. Yeah,
so sad.
He really just got figured out. You know, they downloaded him, like they knew exactly what he was about.
I love when we say it like that, like they downloaded the player. It's actually so true for like all these robotic Kespit players that we got over here.
I completely copied that from the fighting scene there. They used that.
Yeah, they do?
Yeah.
All right.
They got him on download. That means they know every move he's going to make. But it was pretty much the same sort of sense here in Life. Just couldn't catch a break those best of 5s.
Yeah. He still remains in first place for WCS points. I think he's in an incredibly good position to go to BlizzCon, like almost definitely, if he's in first right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's not falling off anytime soon. I mean, anytime soon.
Anytime soon. This guy, soO, he just got eliminated from Kodas.
That he did.
Besides that, we've seen him in Pro League a bunch of times. The last game he played was against Solar, beating him. That's something. He also beat Departure in his other ZVZ in Pro League. So he hasn't had too many results, too many sort of games. So not much exposure, really. He also got eliminated from the Kesper Cup qualifier by Sulky.
Yeah. Well, taking a little bit of a closer look at these guys' stats. Life did get through here on a seed, of course. He did make it to the round of 4 in last SSL. He fell to Dream in probably one of the best series we've ever seen in StarCraft 2.
That was definitely a treat. And we got to see the rematch also in Kesper Cup. It wasn't as extreme, but it was still a lot of fun.
And soO, of course, he did make it through. He defeated Super 3-0, in fact, to make it through. So pretty good in that ZVP matchup, it looks like. But you know, he did go down to Trust as well in Kodas, and he is going up against a Zerg player here in Life.
Yep, that's true. And as we can have a look at Life sort of statistics here.
Oh, man. Look at that ZVZ.
Like,
the amount of games that he has versus Zerg is nowhere near as many as the other races.
Yeah, you don't actually get to see that much ZVZ in these matches, you know. Even soO, he's got 4. He's won them all, 100% win rate. It doesn't make much of a difference if it's only 4 games there.
Yeah. One of those games is against, like, Departure.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have the big results, you know, on top in recent times. So it's, you know, one of those games is against Symbol. A lot of these are, like, best of
Solar,
ones.
like, these
best of ones that he did in Pro League. They just do not compare to fighting a best of 3 here against Life.
They kind of B tier also Zergs as well.
Yeah,
so
they are.
It isn't saying much. Here we have a look at the maps. Expedition Lost, Deadwing, and Varney. Pretty interesting maps. Deadwing and Varney should be a lot of fun. Deadwing, obviously the bigger one. More of a threat of cheeses cross-map and whatnot. Much harder to scout with an Overlord. And then Varney Research. You can do a lot of kind of cool sort of builds with the ramp. Blocking off the ramp with Queens, and you have that pocket sort of natural, so you can hide a lot of stuff a lot easier.
It looked like soO was banning out the shorter maps, the 2-player maps, and Life was in fact banning out Merry-Go-Round and Cactus Valley. A 3-player map, 4-player map. Maybe Life wants to be a bit aggressive here.
Yeah, quite possibly. We get ready for the first match of the day, Valdez.
I'm so excited to jump into this one, Moonglade. So hyped up. I had a coffee, a Bacchus, and a Red Bull.
Whoa, dude. You're going to crash so hard by game number 2, man.
It's all good, Moonglade. Let's jump into game number 1 here between Life and soO right now. Up here in the top left, in the blue, one of our Zerg, our top right. Wow, off to a great start we are, Moonglade. It's Life. Recently of KT.
Down here in the bottom left, we got soO. Yeah, buddy.
So excited to get into this one.
So excited. Look at this, fellas. No cheeses to start things off. A gentleman's agreement. How far will this agreement go there? Will they going for 2 hatcheries, or will we see an early pull from 1? Life might even be scarred from his Casper Cup experience. Terrified of another 10 pull.
Could be, but let's see what happens exactly.
Strong. No, it is a pull.
It is a pull, and
Life.
soO goes for hatch.
Yeah, so soO going to remain the greedy Zerg that he always was, is, and will be. Life playing it safe for the start, maybe. You know, wants to kind of feel out what soO's capable of. soO obviously sat back and watched that Casper Cup and was like, oh, okay, all I have to do is 10 pull him, and I guess I'll just win a best of 5. But nope, Life's not going to have it this time around.
Yeah. And this is just soO, like you said, just playing greedy, but also reading Life, and I love it. He's even going for gas before pool. He's just being as greedy as possible.
Yeah, this is an extreme greed. This is the kind of greed you will just die to a 10 pull from, and we did see that with Life in that Casper Cup. So Life going to be going for that 15 pool. And from here, he's going to play it safe and probably add a gas soon after he's finished making those drones. He should do, at least. I would be very surprised if we saw Life, of all people, go for a gasless. Might be time to mix things up for him, though. He kind of got a little too figured out in Casper Cup.
Yeah, well, his ZVZ definitely didn't work out for him. That's one way to put it. And there's that gas.
Just a little bit later. Actually kind of surprisingly late, considering how many minerals he had. But, you know, whatever. He knows what he's doing.
There was some talk about Life, you know, recently. Well, I guess it's not recent at this point, but after he joined KT at the beginning of round 2 of Pro League, his style got very mixed up. He kind of like tried to conform to the, you know, the Kespa kind of macro-y Zerg kind of play, and kind of went away from his regular style. What do you think about that, Moonglade?
Yeah, I think it's like just the philosophy of the you know, these Kespa teams. They want to build you up as a giant mechanical player. And it's, I mean, it's where they have the most success as well in Brood War, like Flash and all those guys were just like hardcore macro gods. Flash being probably the most popular of them. So they have that philosophy going into it, so probably they wanted Life to practice more of that and less of this kind of like freestyle, like crazy aggression Zerg. And I like it. I like it because it is a change. So long as Life doesn't forget what he can do if he has to. You know, he can go into that super aggressive style. And
because he does do it every so often, you know, he just like pulls it out.
Yeah, well, we saw that against Dream, you know. Life was like sick on that day. He is in a very bad form, like coughing his guts out and whatnot. So he's like, you know what, I'm just going to be crazy aggressive and try to end these games before like my illness really takes its toll. And he did. He showed some really unique sort of aggression. I love those games.
What do you think about this? 24 links coming out of soO.
This is death right here. Unless Life starts making a SimCity right now, he will
he's going to see it. He's going to see it right now.
All right, 3 Evo block. This should keep him alive. We're going to see soO start working on them. But there's a Spine Crawler about to finish. He should be fine. He might have to get another Evo down, and he does. Is Zach actually going to hold everything? I'm not even sure.
That's the big question. He's trying to make a wall behind this.
Oh, nice cancel as well. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, no!
Oh,
no, the links get by.
Oh, he did it way too prematurely. And he's going to pay dearly for that. He's making lings at the same time, so maybe he can hold on without taking too much damage.
Oh, man. And now Stu just going for these 2 queens, but I think it's just too much. Yeah, he's going to come around now and go into that mineral line. Try to pick off some of these drones.
Oh, and they're all red now. So they should get picked off without too much more damage happening. Life is tier 2 as well. He's got that lair. Still making that roach warren. Oh, nice. All right, so Life didn't take too much damage. He was forced a few buildings to come out.
Yeah. And he only lost like 1 queen. He was forced to make some lings, but after all of it kind of settled here,
yeah,
he didn't really lose too much. He gets that lair up first.
Only that 2nd and 3rd gas was really late, which could be a problem going into tier 2. He's not going to have too much for roaches and stuff like that, which could be a problem with all these lings coming across the map. As we see currently, he does not have much.
Yeah, whereas soO already has a really big bank up at 300 gas already. And soO, once again, it looks like he wants to cancel this 3rd base while taking his own, and I think he should be easily able to do that.
Oh, yeah. There's no way Life can actually save this for now. He's going to build up a lot of roaches so he can move out, take the 3rd base. And soO is looking good, but soO is behind pretty far in upgrade. If Life stays on top of his attack range, gets +2 a lot earlier. As I said, look at this huge surround. Oh, this is actually really bad as well, because these are not +1 roaches. They will go down to lings.
He just gets a beautiful surround. He barely loses anything. And soO just continues to take great trades over and over and over again. While he keeps his 3rd base up, he prevents Life from taking his own.
Yeah, this is actually kind of scary. And look at this. We have like 11 drones in the 3rd base of soO currently. So soO is so far ahead in economy, in production, that it's going to be so hard for Life to come back from this. We might even just see a counterattack from Life. I'm not sure. He won't really have much of an opportunity, though, because we did see roaches already on the cards for soO at this point.
Yeah, and he also has a 3rd hatchery. He has so much production from that. A great economy at this point. All he has to do is defend, shut down this attack hardcore, and he's going to be in a beautiful position here. His speed is about to finish up. His +1 is not done just yet. And I think Life sees that, but there's no real way for him to punish that.
Yeah, no way at all. I mean, look at the supplies already. 20 supply lead for soO. It's only going to get worse from here before it gets better with that massive economy lead in that 3rd base. Looking like a very ugly situation for Life. He's going to have like the perfect concave and the right numbers to even have a hope of dealing with this.
Well, he's got that spine crawler. Let's hope he can be the hero spine crawler. Unfortunately, I don't think so.
No, it's kind of planted in a Wonkadoodle position as well. Wonkadoodle.
Oh, what?
A Wonkadoodle because it's a spine crawler. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay.
Makes sense,
right?
It, yeah. All right. Well, it's going to have to lift up and plant at the 3rd if it has any
doodle.
Yep. Well, it's just not going to. So this 3rd's going to go down again, and Life cannot do much about it. He's going to commit to it, defending it. But look at the numbers.
No, this is just a numbers game at this point. It looks like Life did have a slightly better concave there. He also has that 1 queen. Spine Crawler trying to get into the mix. But you just see the supplies. I mean, he's just falling lower and lower. soO's finally got a great concave as well. And he's just taking another great trade.
Yeah, this is a great trade. And more reinforcements are coming up from behind as well. The Spine Crawler finally plants. So maybe he can hold off for now. +2. Still 90 seconds away. He needs that if he really wants an advantage in these fights.
And so smart from soO. Now that the Spine Crawler's up there at the 3rd base, he just fights in between the bases. It's a very nice concave of his own. Some Speedlings coming in to join the fight. And this may just be too much.
Yeah, I think it just might be. Either way, it's too ugly at this point. +2 still nowhere near finishing. And Roachling just streaming across the map until Life runs out of units. When it gets to this situation, when they're in between your production as well, it's just so hard to build up enough roaches to actually defend.
Yeah, you can't group up your units, and it's just so hard to get in a good position. It's kind of like he's got you checkmated at this point in time. soO, again, just taking great trades up there. It's going to be it. soO's going to take game number 1 up against Life.
Wow. Pretty impressive play from soO. And really, it was all about that blunder with Life, you know, canceling that Evo just a little too soon while soO was on the ramp, and he was going to have one last look in case Life just did just that. So, nice decision-making from soO, and Unfortunate for life. He's going to get out.